Hi everyone, good morning. If you're like us, it's zucchini season. You got all these zucchinis. What are you going to do with them? We'll kind of show you what we do here at our homestead to try and get rid of some of them. One of the things we do. So what we do is we're going to make zucchini chips. It's a healthy alternative to potato chips. And we'll show you how we do that. So you've got your pile of zucchinis. First thing you want to do is get yourself a nice cutting board. We've got our dehydrating trays. And we're going to slice these in about 1/4 inch slices. So we'll get rid of the end here. We get rid of one more. Again, you want to be about 1/4 inch on these. If you're less, when you put them in the dehydrator, they will stick to the dehydrating sheets. If you cut them a little bit too thick, they just take forever to dehydrate. So they will go about 8 to 12 hours to make a batch of these. But they are very good, and they're a good way to use up some of these extra zucchinis that you got coming out of your garden at this time of the year. So we're going to get this sliced up. We'll get them laid on our trays, and then we'll bring it back and we'll show you how we season them and get them in the dehydrator. All right, so we've got our zucchinis all cut up and laid on our trays. A couple things I want to show you guys. First thing, on the larger zucchinis, you get a big fat one. If you let it go in the garden a little bit too long, you'll notice that it's got a lot of seeds in the center, and you can push right through it. These are not good for making the chips. They dehydrate out, they become hollow, and you got just like a shell left. So when you get down to the fat part of the zucchini, lay those aside. We're going to throw these on a tray, just cook them in the oven like we normally would, but we won't use those for chips. So we've got our 5 dehydrating trays here all spread out. Next thing we're going to do is season them. So I like to use a barbecue spice. I've done Cajun, I've done sour cream, onion salt, whatever you like is what you can use. You just want to sprinkle it, again, whatever your desired amount is, over your sliced zucchini. Just think of this as like your seasoning that you would like maybe on potato chips that you buy at the store. This is what you're getting there. So again, whatever you like is what you can use. So we're going to put our trays in our dehydrator. I've got a 5-tray dehydrator. These things come in all different sizes and shapes. So whatever one you have or whatever one you can get will work for you. It'll be just fine. Get these all loaded in there. Now I will when I turn mine on, I like to do mine at about 155 degrees, and I will start it at 9 hours. Some of these are going to take up to 12 hours to do, but at 9 hours the smaller ones are ready. So I can come down, I can take those out and leave the bigger ones in. At about 4.5, 5 hours, I'll rotate the trays. I'll turn them around, stick them back in the other way so we get a nice even dehydrating. But that's it. In 9 to 12 hours, we'll come back, we'll show you the finished product. All right, so it's been about 8 hours, a little over since we put them in. I did rotate them once. We're gonna check them now. Some of the smaller ones will be done for sure, especially the ones in the back. In my dehydrator, the back seems to cook a little quicker than the back. So we're gonna shut that off for now. We'll pull our bottom trays. Again, the back, these are nice and crisp. These are done. You know, just like a potato chip, nice and crisp. You can hear it crank. This one's a little thicker, it's not. So basically after the 8 hours, you've got to kind of check them all and pull out your ones that are finished, leaving the ones that are not quite done, that may have been a little thicker cut when you originally cut them. And you can throw these in your jar, and I'll discuss the jar in a second. These ones are still a little damp. We're going to stick those ones back in. Again, in the back of my dehydrator seems to work, dry out a lot quicker than the front. They stick a little, it's no big deal. It's easy to get off.
So the littler ones will always be done a little quicker. Again, some trays in my dehydrator seem to cook a little better. Now, if you get this stick, don't worry about it. You can peel that off at a later point. Just want to get, they're done, take them out. Again, some of the bigger, thicker pieces, if you cut them too thick, could take up to 12 hours to completely dehydrate. You know, a good tip is if you don't want to do this during the day, you can make up a batch right before bed, throw it in there in the dehydrator before you go to sleep at night, and when you wake up in the morning, you know, granted you slept the full night, you'll have 8 hours in them. You can see the crisp ones versus the ones that aren't quite done, that will run a little longer. And the top tray in my dehydrator always does not seem to dehydrate that well. Again, I'm not completely sure why. I don't know if the air doesn't circulate right there. We're going to make sure that these don't stick to the tray. Just move them a little bit. Earlier in the video when I talked about the seedless ones and how they howl out that they're not good, because that's what happens right there. If you get the fat end of the zucchini, it seems to happen. It sticks to your trays. Here's another perfect example. That's kind of what happens. That's why those ones, these ones here with the seeds in them, just they don't work good for making the chips. This tray will, I'm going to rotate this tray on the bottom because it'll go better back there. So I know just from doing these in the past, these are going to take another couple hours. So we're going to turn this back on. I'm going to set it for 2 hours, and then I'll come down and check them. We should be pretty close to done at that point. And you've got them in your jar. Now, another important thing, once you have these, make sure you have some sort of airproof jar. This has got the rubber lip on it. If you let air in here, your chips will become moist again. They will rehydrate, you know, it won't be what you like. But otherwise, nice, healthy potato chip alternative, and a good way to get rid of the tons of zucchini that should be sprouting from your garden this time of year. All right, so thanks for watching. That's Zucchini Chips. You know, if you like our channel, we're going to try and do a lot more of these things. Garden tours. We'll show you our animals. We'll do all that stuff. Hit the subscribe button down below. Keep getting our videos. Thanks for watching.